Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I am so grateful that you've joined us for this little while. So let's begin. So let's begin with our 3 nice, really deep breaths. Filling up our lungs, holding it for a second, listening to the sweet little sound of the bird. Breathing in a little more deeply this time. Holding it for a second and releasing it out even more slowly. And now the deepest breath you've taken all day. Fill your lungs up. Hold it for a second and release it out really slowly. Let's begin by relaxing our bodies. Imagining this beautiful white light raining down from the heavens. Filling up our heads and our minds and our brains. Relaxing all the muscles in our heads, our necks, shoulders. Feel it moving down into our upper chest, upper arms, and then filling up our rib cages. The goal being all of our muscles going to a neutral position, neither flexed nor stretched out, just kind of relaxing, and our organs doing what they need to do. Feeling it move down our arms to our elbows and then to our hands. Same time moving through the rib cage into the midsection. Pay particular attention as it moves down your back, just gently relaxing all the muscles of your back, all the way down now to your tailbone. And then into your legs, your upper legs, knees, lower legs, all the way to your feet. And know that that relaxation will continue all the way through the meditation, so your body will get more and more deeply relaxed. And so we've been talking about safety and healing, and we can't heal unless we feel safe. So I asked my guides, and my journey is very parallel to the path of these meditations. And so the guide said, this week we're going to talk about how we show up for ourselves. And for me, and I think for a lot of us, we show up for everyone else first, and then whatever's left is what's left for us. So our first idea is to let ourselves off the hook. For some reason, this worked. You know, this was our survival. This is how it worked to live our lives, to put everyone else safe, everyone else first, to take care of everyone else's needs before your own. And if you're a parent, that kind of comes naturally as well. So just know that there's no reason for guilt or shame about the patterns that you have developed up until now. They were necessary, and now we can choose a new way of being. So let's just take a little while to think about how we don't show up for ourselves. What do we do that undermines ourselves? I already mentioned, putting everyone else first. Let's take a deep breath into that idea, whatever came up for us. And just embrace it. What we resist persists. So let's just embrace however it has been up until now. There's no need to fight it. Can't change the past anyway. And let's know that we are on the precipice of change. If you are tuning into this meditation, it is because you are willing to heal. You're willing to allow the infinite healing energy of God, your higher power, the one presence, the one power, to move in, through, and as you. So let's think about now ways we can show up for ourselves. Well, maybe we got a cue or a clue for that when we thought about what we do that is not showing up for ourselves. So imagine, it's a big leap from putting everyone else first to putting yourself first. But what if you put yourself on the list? It was suggested to me earlier this week, and I've made similar suggestions, to make a list of 5 things that you enjoy doing, 5 things that you desire. And the cool thing about this is it gets you to focus on yourself and your own joy. And when you are in your own joy, honoring yourself and the fact that this is your life, your human experience that you get to be present for, then you create ways to make that happen, to allow that to happen. And then you heal. And can it be that simple? I'm open to that possibility. Because when we show up for ourselves, we feel safe. We are not trying to win everyone else's approval, or, however it works for you. We are present to our own needs and wants. And some of us have been taught to dismiss the wants. Like, how dare you want something? You should be glad that your needs get met, and you can't always get what you want, but you might get what you need. Well, what if you can get what you want? As long as it is aligned with your highest good. I feel that the one presence is this flow moving in, through, and as us, guiding us to getting what we want, because it put those desires in our hearts to begin with. And the other part of the suggestion that I received was, make a list, and you don't have to write it down, but in your mind, of your 5 most favorite people. And if they are deceased, I suggest you can talk to them anytime and be aware of their presence around you. And maybe that's easier for me as a psychic medium, continually, repeatedly communicating with those in spirit. But I feel like they communicate with everyone, everywhere. They don't just disappear. And think about just one of those people for a moment. Let's have a little bit of silence so you can think about maybe the 5 people who support you the most, who listen to you. I believe that we have our soul families that may or may not be people that we are biologically related to. So I encourage you this week to reach out to someone that you know loves you unconditionally. And I guarantee you there are such people. Reach out and let them love you. I remember the last time that my dad came to my house, and I went out onto the porch to greet him when they pulled up, and we made eye contact with one another, and I could just feel this unconditional love just pouring from his eyes into my soul. Those are the people I encourage you to be around, and to make eye contact with them and let them love you. You deserve it. And let yourself love yourself. I suggest that you look in the mirror and allow the unconditional love of the universe to flow into your eyes, into your eyes. It's entirely possible that somewhere along the line you did not receive the love that you needed or the love that you deserved. And you can give it to yourself now. If you think about it, inside we don't age. Our spirits, our energy, we feel the same as we did when we were much younger. I think our consciousness kind of evolves so that most of us, when we think about, how I feel on the inside, it's somewhere in the 20s, because our brains continue to develop until we're about 26. And so we don't really get a full concept of who we are until that time. So I invite you to ask your 26-year-old self, what do you want? What do you desire? What would you like? And if you're not 26 yet, imagine if you were. Breathe into that. invite you to make a commitment to show up for yourself in the week ahead. Give yourself permission to say no if something doesn't work for you or it's just not ideal for you. You're allowed to do that. Give yourself permission to say yes if you really want to do it. Or put whatever conditions on it you want. Yes, I will come, but I'm going to have to be late because I need to rest before I go. Or you don't have to give explanations. Be aware. There's so many incidences where we do not owe explanations, and yet because someone asked the question, we feel that we do. I invite you to become comfortable with not answering questions or answering a question with a question. If it just doesn't feel right to you that you should have to answer this question, you don't. It's kind of the good news, huh? You don't owe the world an explanation for your choices. I think we do owe ourselves the opportunity to heal, to have joy, to show up for ourselves, to love ourselves and appreciate ourselves. I had the opportunity to explain to my granddaughter, who's 10, this morning. She said, well, no one's perfect. And I said, well, there is a place inside each of us where we are perfect. And I'm sure she either chewed on that for a moment or dismissed it. But I told her, I say in my meditations every week, I tell people you are whole and perfect exactly as you are, because you are. Take another nice deep breath. I invite you to have a wonderful week, to be there for yourself, to recognize that you deserve to have a wonderful life. You deserve joy, and you deserve to be on your list. So that as you love and honor and respect yourself and your own needs, the healing will naturally flow to you. And you will have more and more peace than you ever imagined. Let's take one more nice, deep, deep breath. And remember that you are whole and perfect exactly as you are, and the infinite presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you. Namaste.